Greeting, ladies and gentlemen, and how was your Monday in the marketplace? A few days ago when I did the program, I said, yes, greeting, ladies and gentlemen, and then I said, and that's our aspiration, and I let it go at that. But that was important, and perhaps you remember it, but if not, today, as we go Monday in the marketplace, I'd like to ask a few things. First of all, do you know what day this is in radio history? I'm sure you don't, but I'll tell you. What does it mean to talk about ladies and gentlemen? Do you know what it means to make your mark and not just mark time? And in effect, can I help you find a way to get paid not for what you do, but more important, who you are? We're going to talk about those things this Monday, right now on the Jesus Entrepreneur, Radio on the Edge, the Christian Entrepreneur Network, and yours truly, Stan Houston. We're on the air. And thank you very much for taking a bit of a time on Monday evening, flowing into Tuesday, perhaps a good start to your week. We take the weekend off, and thank you for your time. I trust it was a good weekend. A weekend, as we say, first of all, a little bit get your work caught up. I got the entire back patio finally cleaned up. Then I went into what it should be, R2, rest and reflection. Did a lot of that. It was good to do that. And then into worship. Remember, your weekend is WR2W. Finish up the work for the week. Do some good things, usually around the home as opposed to around the office or around the work. Those kind of errands. Then time to rest and reflect. Kind of what some people used to call the Sabbath day. The super rest day. That flows into Sunday, and then you have the time for what you were made for, worship. Indeed, what you were made for. And then those of you who know a little bit about how we do things, then come the late Sunday, late afternoon, early evening, a time for the Sunday night meeting of prayer and planning and purposing your life for the week ahead. And then to go to bed relatively early so you can be ready to meet the marketplace on Monday. You know what? If you just start doing that in your weekend time, you're going to find that Monday will go great. In fact, today I rested well, and 4 o'clock I woke up and I felt great. Let me tell you. By 9 o'clock, I had most of my stuff done for my list, and now I'm well into Tuesday. It's been a good day. What about you? I'd love to hear from you. We'd love for you to be in touch. First of all, find out a little bit more about the Christian Entrepreneur Network by going to TCEN Global, TCENglobal.org. And check that out. And my good colleague Isaac reposted one of our blogs, went gibberish. And then my good friend Chal told me that it had gone gibberish, and so we got the gibberish fixed, and the blog is fixed, and our website, our web stage, our web portal is working well. Check it out. And then, of course, we are there with Radio on the Edge, Radio Right Now, Radio Today. It is this program, and it's very focused. We're trying to help you join the tribe of Jesus entrepreneurs, learning how to make your mark in the marketplace, how to build a life, build a business that matters, and expand your brand. That's what we want to help you do. And we'd love to help you do just that. Again, RadioEdge77 at gmail.com is the way to reach out and touch. raise your hand, be on the program. I'm going to be interviewing a lot of different people, and you just might be one of them. July 24th, I'm told, was the birthday, the first attempt in 1939, and the first start of an FM broadcast. Now, before that, as most of you know, the broadcast band was the one that we're usually familiar with. Amplitude modulation is what the AM stands for. And unless you're a broadcast engineer, you have no idea what the AM band stands for. But it's a different way of broadcasting. Then they invented frequency modulation. And it was placed on a higher frequency. And so what happened was that the quality of the sound was even better, and because it was on a higher frequency, again, unless you're a geeky engineer like I used to be, that means nothing to you, but the chances of your radio having static or that thunderstorms or weather would interfere with the reception were far less, and so it was the attempt to improve the quality of the radio experience. Well, it takes a long time for things to catch on, and it really wasn't until much later, after the Second World War, the late 40s, early 50s, that FM began to grow. And of course now, those people who are really into the musical experience tend to prefer the FM experience. And now many radio stations, they have an AM frequency and they have an FM frequency. If they're more of a talk show, they seem to be more attracted to the AM band. If they're more of a musical situation, they are more attracted to the FM band. And that, of course, has been radio for a number of years, until right now. Now, it is moving from the OTA, that's on the air, in the AM band, OTA, on the air, the FM band, to OTT, which is over the top. And this is radio right now, the kind of radio you are listening to. You can listen to it on the internet, on your phone, on your tablet. If you still use a laptop, or even if you still use a desktop, you can do it then. But now, almost 60% of you are actually doing most of your computer, internet work with your tablet or with your phone. Everything is changing, and that's why one of the things I do is I come to you on demand when you want. Listen to me on the radio, wherever you want to do, but your radio is primarily your phone or your tablet or your computer, and you can respond right away if you want. I'm simply pointing out that on this day in history, radio made a new beginning, and right now radio is changing profoundly. There will always be radio. The spoken word will always have power and influence. People thought that radio would die with television. It did not. It changed. And radio will change again because it will still be the power and the mystery and the imagination and the energy of the spoken word, except that it will not necessarily be on the air. It will be over the top. It'll be on the worldwide, going around the world web, internet, and that's what's happening. And everybody is going to have to learn. Just like years ago, you were told you better go to Dale Carnegie or you better go to Toastmasters, because if you want to be successful in life and business, you better learn how to public speak and how to talk and present in public. That's still true. But here's also something that's true, my friends. You're going to have to learn how to speak and perform and communicate OTT on the new way we do radio. So why don't you, on this July 24th coming up, all right, tomorrow, start today, that you will make a point of saying, I'm going to start learning about how I can use the radio in my business. Let me tell you, businesses are going and growing. Some of them are using the new media of internet radio, and you better have a YouTube channel. Right now, we are being not deluged, not inundated, but more and more people are saying to us here at the Christian Entrepreneur Network, can you help us build a YouTube channel? Every business, as part of their marketing, will have to have radio with pictures on your own private channel. Boy, that's a lot of stuff to think about on a Monday, isn't it? Well, that's the way the world is going. So hopefully we can deal with the mystery of what's going on, and we can learn how to master it so that we can truly make our mark in the marketplace, which will lead me to the second topic for today, which will be, are you making your mark, or are you just marking time? That's coming up. This is Radio Right Now, Radio on the Edge, Radio for Today, and it is the Jesus Entrepreneur. We'll be right back.
'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight.
And we are right back. Well, again, I hope you actually are, as I said, ladies and gentlemen. I like that old-fashioned expression. I apologized to a young banker the other day. There had been a rule, and I was very upset with the fact that I couldn't make a deposit because of this, and he implied that's the way it was. It wasn't him, it wasn't the bank, it was the government, and it cost me time, energy, and money, and I wasn't very pleasant about it. But I came back, and I later on, did what I had to do. And then I turned to the young man and said, I'm sorry for the way I responded. I really want to apologize. And he said, oh, no. I said, yes, it is. I pride myself. I want to be a Christian gentleman. And I wasn't. I wasn't very Christian, and I certainly wasn't a gentleman. And I want to be that. It was surprising that he looked at me and smiled, and the guy next to him looked at me, and he also smiled and was a little bit surprised by the expression. One of the things I'm going to ask some of you to think about is, would it be good for you to say, hey, in this company, this enterprise, we conduct ourselves as ladies and gentlemen. Now, that sounds really old-fashioned, and it is. Well, there's no different lady. Baloney. What would it mean to be a lady and a gentleman? That we would respond in some of the old-fashioned ways, the courtesies, the way we talk, the way we dress, the way we think, the way we perform in front of others. If we would be ladies and gentlemen, would that make your company different? Just thought I would ask, entrepreneur, as you're building your business. Can I also suggest there's something else you might want to do with your staff? Years ago, and I'm going to revive it, I did a little workshop. Again, it was 7 things. By the way, go back and listen to the program that I did and ask about the video I did on the 7 principles and practices of the Christian entrepreneur. And by the way, you can get that for free, just radioedge77@gmail.com, and I'll send you a copy of a little 30-page book that you can read in less than 35 minutes, and that's if you read slow and pay attention. The book is done, and it is powerful. Just as Stephen Covey changed a lot of the world with the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, but that was a 330-page book some 30 years ago. I now have the 7 Principles and Practices of the Christian Entrepreneur, and I think it's about 33 pages. And you can read it in perhaps 33 minutes. And I would encourage you to do that, and I think it could change your life and business. And it will help you decide a little bit about that. But flowing from that, I did a number of years ago, I did a thing called Making Your Mark, or just marking time. And it comes from the thing that I learned from St. Paul, who said, hey, let's press toward the mark. And of course, the mark means, in many translations, the goal. And I had discovered that only 3% of the population were actually goal-directed. They lived with a strong sense of goals. And so I sat down, and this is when I was just learning some of this stuff, because I hadn't been taught it before, which was crazy. I said, here I am in my 40s, and no one ever taught me how to be successful. That's why I had failed so badly. Here we go. 7 ways to make your mark and stop marking time. And by the way, the world is full of people, even in mid-career, who are just marking time. And there are lots of people, both in their later years and even in their retirement years, unfortunately, who are just marking time. Marching to the grave with nothing of energy, excitement, and passion involved in their final stretch, their final leap, their final way to finish well, to make life worthwhile. So my challenge to you is, would you like to help all of your people now? One of the more successful businesses, in effect, many years ago, she said to me, Stan, I want all of my employees to be one of the 3%. If they don't set goals, they need to go. And so we're putting together and reviving, and you're welcome to be a part of that, how to stop just marking time and start making your mark. Start making your mark, or are you just marking time? If you'd like to know more about that program, please reach out to radioedge77@gmail.com, radioedge77@gmail.com. I'm Stan Houston. This is the Jesus Entrepreneur. We honor all wisdom, all good ideas come from Him. Thank you, Jesus. We'll be back with a final thought in just one moment. And indeed, we are back. It's one of my favorite pieces of music in my songbook. That was, as some of you already know, is from that wonderful film called The Last of the Mohicans. Wonderful film, wonderful story. And I just kind of borrow some of the music from time to time. And thank you for enjoying it with me. Very simply, here's what I'm going to encourage you to do. Right now, you're all working very hard, and could it be that one of the things you need to do is, right now, you get paid for what you do and for how long you do it. You do something for an hour, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, and that's how you get paid. And as one man said to me, Stan, part of my problem is the only way I get paid is by using my hands and getting them dirty. Nothing wrong with that. Praise God for people who work hard, who make things, create things, fix things. But as he said, that's the only way I can make my living, is by working with my hands for a long time and getting them dirty. I'm simply saying this. He got paid for doing good work and for doing it for a long time? Could it be that what we're seeking to do is to get paid for what we know and how we help and how we serve, not just for the time in and what we do? Is there a way to create in your life and your career a way to get paid not for what you do and the time you do it, but to get paid for the wisdom, insight, and truth that you can share with others? We can help you. That's one of our fundamental missions in life, and we would like to do that for you. I'm Stan Houston. Again, under 20 minutes. Hey, RadioEdge77 at gmail.com, RadioEdge77 at gmail.com. Trust your Monday went well. May your week be blessed. Let's make it a good one. Again, bye for now.